No one knows more about the lines than my man Jeff Nadu. BMOC joins us now right here on the Sports Bash. Check out his Barstool Sports blog as we get ready for the weekend. And don't forget, college hoops is going to be coming. I know Jeff is all over the college hoops and some early stuff here. Jeff, what's going on, man?
Mike, I wanted to tell you before we start, I want to shout out to your producer or whoever puts the music on. That beat you just heard is arguably the greatest beat in the history of rap. I love, every beat the guy brings on is just fire. I feel like I'm on a corner with the fire burning in the garbage pit, and I'm listening to it. I can feel it in my veins. I love it.
Well, that's me that picks the music. I pick my own music, man. I'm very hands-on on this show here. You know what I mean?
Good. Love it. You're the king, then. You should get the credit. Good work.
If I get the credit from you, Jeff, I feel good. That means a lot coming from you. All right, man. By the way, I told the people out there they should be checking you out. You gave a soccer winner yesterday, and I said if I remember the two teams, I would have told them, but I didn't even remember. I just said, hey, Jeff picks the soccer winners. He's the soccer savant, even though it was no Sassuolo.
Yeah, the Italian league has been a great thing for me. I put a lot of time into it. I know a ton about these teams. I had a question, Mike, that I went over in college basketball. Someone asked me, what do you do if you're a gambler just getting into a sport? And I'd advise anyone, don't just jump and bet stuff. Find a league, find a conference, find something that you can really kind of inundate yourself with, learn everything about it, understand the flow of the games and how they go and kind of how they play. And then Serie A has kind of been that for me. I've always enjoyed it. I remember the first time I ever watched soccer was many years ago. I worked at a pizzeria. My best friend was from Sicily, and I remember we watched Inter Milan and we watched Italy win the World Cup in 2006. So I really love the league, and I enjoy making money off it.
It's funny because when I'll say, hey, Serie A, and if people say, well, why does this guy know so much about soccer? I don't know. I'll ask you, why do you know so much about soccer? There you go. You worked at a pizza shop. That's enough credibility for me.
Well, yeah, it was kind of just a thing that happened. He's my best friend. He still is a good friend to me. And his father was a big soccer guy. Loved Inter, and yeah, I just kind of became infatuated with it. It's funny, Mike, I've said many times, my end goal, all this, we all have an end goal in life. My end goal is to literally sell everything I have here, move to Italy. I already have the town picked out, meet a good woman over there, and just bet and watch soccer all day. I'm already learning Italian, so I'm on my way.
That's a heck of a life's goal right there. I think I should follow you down that path, babe. We'll just sit there, drink coffee, and look at lines all day, bet soccer games. That sounds like a fantastic way to go.
I mean, that's what you only have to live one life, Mike. Why not? Why be 9 to 5 when you go out and do what you want to do? That's what life's about, right?
I hear you, man. Jeff Nadu, big man on campus, Barstool Sports. All right, let's look at some early college football. I know you're already locked in on Temple, Tulane. What do you like about that one?
Yeah, I've if you listen to me on Mike's show or read some of the blogs that I'm putting out at Barstool, I've kind of picked on Temple defensively. To me, they're a really good over team because they're not very good defensively. Give up a lot of big plays. Can't really stop the run, but they also have a good quarterback that can move the football. They have good receivers. This is a team that it just kind of fits, and they don't generally have a lot of big numbers. The one issue that I have had crop up with this group is they are a bad special teams team, and you look on Saturday as a prime example. I had the over 70. They miss an extra point. They start chasing, missed a 2-point conversion. I had 70. It falls 70. So you can't get beat with this team just because of the stupid things they do on special teams, but they've not been good defensively. You look at Tulane. They've been a team that's gone up and down this season, have a good quarterback that can make throws. I know they got blown out because they can't stop anyone last week against Central Florida, but if you go back and watch that game, Michael Pratt, the quarterback, was actually very good. They were able to run the ball. A lot of people come to me, ask me, why is this number dropped to 61? I think this is just people going out all over the place with worrying about this Hurricane Zeta. it should be as good as out of there by game day. So I'm not real worried about it. I have no idea why this number is going down otherwise.
Yeah, it opened at 64.5. I see it at 59.5 at DraftKings and some other places. It's 59.5. So that one's going all over the place on that Temple game.
Definitely will. Real quick, Mike, I will definitely be betting that one again. I probably are going to grab 59.5. I mean, Mike, you look at the weather in New Orleans on Saturday. Mostly sunny, 71, 9-mile-an-hour winds. It's going to be a terrific day down in the Big Easy. I have no idea why this number is going down, but this is bettors not actually going in. That's another thing. Go in and look at weather. Don't just assume that your iPhone weather app is correct. Go in, look at the extended forecast, get into what's going on, because just because it's going to rain Thursday doesn't mean it's going to rain Saturday. I have no idea why this numbers went down.
All right, what did you take from the Big Ten in Week 1? Because we saw Rutgers win, Indiana pull off an upset. They play each other this week. I know Minnesota was disappointing the other night. Illinois got bombed. So what did we take from that Week 1? Because a lot of people in this area like to hit on Big Ten games.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot to take from it. First of which is, looking forward, I mean, Michigan was really good. But, again, I have a friend of mine, my best friend, he's a Michigan fan, and I asked him the other night, I said, look, do you think Michigan's this good, or you just think that Minnesota was that poor? If you look at Minnesota, I mean, they had a lot of issues with coronavirus. That's one of the reasons I got off the game. Their offensive line was riddled. They just didn't have much. They're actually a pretty good football team. I think if those teams played deeper in the season, that would go way differently. Is Michigan State as bad as they were Saturday? I think Rutgers is actually a pretty good football team, so I don't glean a lot there. This is a rivalry game. To give this many points to Michigan State is dangerous. But, again, Mel Tucker's team, this isn't the group led by Mike D'Antoni from 5 years ago that has a lockdown secondary and a good quarterback and a good run game. Joshua Langford's not walking through the door anymore. This is not a good football team, so that's definitely interesting. You look at two teams that lost Friday and Saturday. Purdue, one that won, one that lost. Purdue actually won against Iowa, and I think when you look at the box score, I felt like the game was pretty misleading. Iowa was actually a much better team when you rewatch the game. The one issue Iowa had was they had 10 penalties for 95 yards, and Purdue had just 3. So that was kind of the difference in the game, in a close game. I think Illinois, they got kind of beat up in the first game, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Graham Mertz is just on another level. Going forward, what will he be with coronavirus hitting him and what that team will be? But I think Illinois at home, this is a much better effort. I want to see what Purdue has. They've without their coach. Rondale Moore didn't play, their top receiver. So Illinois could be at a really good home dog spot here off a big loss against a team that I thought overachieved Week 1.
Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. Follow him at Jeff Nadu. I see people texting in. They want to know what your Twitter handle is. So there you go, at Jeff Nadu. You can follow him there, get more stuff from him. We also talk Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock. We go a lot deeper into the college schedule and into the NFL. On Tuesdays, we like to look at some early things and get your beaks wet a little bit here. Let's go over to the NFL. What about –
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Real quick, just want to throw one more thing out. This is a game that'll go before Saturday. I just want to throw some out.
Oh, good.
I think Tulsa is interesting this week. Yeah, Tulsa is interesting this week, Friday night against East Carolina. East Carolina is coming off a bye week. They were actually without their quarterback the week before, though, Holton Ahlers, due to coronavirus. Here's the issue East Carolina has. They're not very good defensively, and they have a good quarterback, but they can't protect the kid. I mean, Holton Ahlers is running for his life seemingly every play. Tulsa is really good, folks. You want to start getting to know this football team. They beat UCF. They took Oklahoma State, a team that I think can win the Big 12, to the cleaners. Very good there, and they were really good last Friday night against a bad South Florida team. Tulsa can score. They have a good quarterback, a good run game, and defensively, they are one team. I know college football, Mike, isn't defensive-ridden much more, but Tulsa can play defense. This game comes across to me 41-17, 44-20. I like Tulsa Friday night. I think they're in a prime spot for a big home win.
I'm glad you brought that up because there's good games. Friday, Minnesota, Maryland. You got a Big Ten. You got that East Carolina. My girl's a proud East Carolina alum, so I usually watch them play. You also got a Hawaii-Wyoming game. You're probably going to get a lot of points. So you do have some interesting games before the Saturday card.
Yeah, you do. And, I actually do a radio interview as well with ECU Radio, and I talk to their guys down there a lot, and kind of dialed in with their team as well. Hawaii's interesting, too. They looked really good the other night at Fresno. Hawaii, a team over the years, not a group that I'm always looking to back on the mainland. When they're in Hawaii, I have interest. But I'll tell you what, Mike, this is a really good offensive team, even without Nick Rolovich, who moved on to Washington State. Hawaii's good. They have a good quarterback. They love to throw the football around. You look at the other night, 2 players with at least 7 receptions. Wyoming, a team that I also think has kind of changed their stripes. They've always kind of been a team that can't move the football, good defense, but it's been different this year. They, in the first game, got beat up defensively against Nevada. This could be a sneaky, high-scoring game. The other night, Mike, Wyoming and Nevada, the total was 51. It was 37-34. I have a feeling oddsmakers just kind of behind with Wyoming. This could be a high-scoring game Friday night. This total seems a little low at 59.5. I would think it'd be a little higher.
All right, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, we'll be back with a deeper look at the college card. Let's look at a couple of early pro games because everyone's going to say 21 Jets. I hit 7 out of 8 in a parlay in the NFL. The one game that screwed me, the Jets covered. The Jets covered. Otherwise, I'd be $5,000 richer having this conversation right now, Jeff. But they're getting 21. Now, it's gone down already to 19 at certain places. But is that thing going to keep going down, or should people jump on that early?
Yeah, this is kind of uncharted territory. You don't see this very often, in the NFL. I mean, especially over 20. But I read an article from the New York Post, I think it was yesterday, that discussed how the Jets already have talked about how, they don't want to hear they don't have a chance in this game. Look, do they have a chance to win? Probably not. But, I've been impressed with the Jets. I thought they played pretty well last week against the Bills. We've seen that Sam Darnold can move the football. I don't think this is a real good Chiefs defense. Anytime I'm going to get almost 3 touchdowns in an NFL game, I'm going to always take the dog. Will I bet this game personally? Probably not. But, the Jets are almost healthy now. Denzel Mims is in there. Berrios has played well. They have Perriman. They have Piron and Gore. And defensively, I don't hate what they have. I think they're a solid defense team, even after losing guys like Jamal Adams and Mosley and guys like that. So I'm looking to buy. I don't think the Jets are right now as inept as they were 2 weeks ago.
All right, Eagles-Cowboys is the Sunday nighter, 7.5. It's not moving much. It seems that, I don't know, do you jump on it now because you don't know Dalton's status? Does that change anybody's opinion?
I don't think Andy Dalton's going to play, and even if I couldn't really care less if he does play. Frankly, this doesn't have any bearing on my thought whether it's Ben DiNucci. I'd prefer DiNucci because, not for nothing though. I really don't know what to expect from DiNucci. I know what to expect from Dalton. DiNucci could be a solid player. Look, I think the Cowboys, Mike. I think the worry you would have here is that the Dallas Cowboys make a move today or tomorrow and get someone in here. I don't know if they'd be ready to play that game though. So I think you'd be fine, but. The Eagles bring back some players. This is still a big number to play with a team that just kind of Jekyll and Hyde week to week. The Eagles generally play down to opponents, which I'm not a big fan of. If you notice, they've always seemed to be in games like this where you wonder how are they down 3 or up 4 against a team like this. I'd probably look more along the lines of over the number. The Cowboys don't stop anybody. I'm willing to think they could at least get to 14 against the Eagles. So 31-14 is a winner here. So I would more or less, if I like the Eagles, I'd probably just play the over.
All right, early in the week, is there anything in the NFL that stands out to you before we move forward?
Yeah, 2 quick ones here. Tennessee, -6 against Cincinnati. I like Tennessee a lot, Mike. One of the reasons I do is that offense, 4th in the league in points per game. One of the favorite things I look at for NFL scoring is red zone success, red zone scoring touchdown percentage. They score on 80% of their drives in that red zone a touchdown. That is second in the NFL. It's very good. They have a great run game. I don't love their defense, but I think Joe Burrow is going to have some trouble this week. You've got to wonder when some of this, dysfunction catches up. Geno Atkins is pissed off. Carlos Dunlap's mad. People want out. A.J. Green wants to go. Their offensive line's a complete mess and has been a complete mess. They've given up 24 sacks, Mike, this season. That's the most in a league. That Tennessee group should be able to get to the quarterback. I think Tennessee's worth a play. I'd get on it before it moves up to 6.5 or 7. One other one. I actually bet this one Sunday night when the lines came out. Atlanta, Carolina over. I thought the number was just a bit low. These are not two good defenses. And one thing I like about Carolina is they can move the football. They've got some explosive players. Teddy Bridgewater's playing at a really high level. You look at that game against the Saints, Mike, 12 for 14 on third down. That's pretty damn good. Atlanta throws a ton. They're playing with a fast pace. They have Julio back. Keep in mind when they played a couple of weeks ago, they didn't have Julio Jones. This number's too low. I think it's 27-24 at worst.
And it's dropping. Open 51.5. I see it 48.5, 49. So it looks like it's going down. You like the over there. So there's a look at the NFL. Quick on Saturday morning. We'll be back with a lot more on college and the pros. I know college basketball is coming up. We got the soccer this weekend. What are some of the other things you want the listeners out there to be in on?
Yeah, I've been inundated with college basketball for months now. Obviously, keeping track of what's going to go on. It's going to be a weird year, as in any sport. But just kind of, Mike, understanding that the transfer process in college basketball is such a mishigas of a mess. It's incredible how, we have a month of the season. There's still high major players like Mac McClung at Texas Tech and others that still don't know if they have a waiver. It's truly laughable how they deal with this kind of stuff. But just kind of keeping up with stuff. Going through scouting reports, understanding who's on which team, what they're going to do, getting my futures in. Just kind of stay with Twitter. That's where I put out all my info. I do mailbags and stuff every week where I take your questions. We have some fun. So, I'm just a wealth of info, as they say, Mike. I don't want to be arrogant, but I just speak the truth.
All right, Saturday morning we'll be back at 9 with more on this weekend's card and, of course, everything else that's going on. Jeff Nadu, Barstool Sports. Make sure you read his blogs at barstoolsports.com. Follow him on Twitter at Jeff Nadu. Tuesdays we look at the early lines. Saturdays we go over them all, and you guys can all be a part of it. Jeff, enjoy stay safe up there, man. What's going on in Philly? Holy mackerel.
Yeah, Mike, it seems like an everyday thing. That's another. Someday I'm going to run for mayor, Mike, and I'm not even kidding. Before I go to Italy, I'm going to run for mayor, do my time. Listen, we have some major problems in the city that need to be fixed. I hope only that people stay safe and just think a little bit. One thing I'll say, Mike, I look at these young kids and it saddens me because a lot of these kids are going to do something for a pair of sneakers or a couple pieces of clothes. Don't be a guy that can't rent an apartment down the road or get a good job because of some burglary charge that you got 15 years ago. Don't ruin your life because of something stupid.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're safe up there. And, of course, enjoy all the sports this weekend, and we'll talk to you on Saturday.
Thanks, Mike. Look forward to it.
Yeah, man. Jeff Nadu, big man on campus. BarstoolSports.com is where you can get his insight. But follow him on Twitter at Jeff Nadu, and you can get all his insights. And he'll throw out games randomly in the morning or just say, hey, this is boom. And there you go.